a slow Southern Sunday, ready to perk up in Atlanta, where the Diamondbacks will try for a series win against the Braves to open up this road trip. It's Ruby De La Rosa, unbeaten in his last 5 starts, versus Shelby Miller, who is winless in 15 consecutive starts. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball is presented by Sanderson Ford. And good morning from Turner Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume, Bob Brunley along the way. It's the series finale against these Braves here, the rubber game of this 3-game set. And another spot in the cleanup spot for David Peralta, the red-hot David Peralta, Bob. And it seemed like for David, things ironically turned for him when Ender Inciarte got hurt in Anaheim back in the middle of June.
Yeah, you know, we talk a lot about adjustments in the game of baseball, and this adjustment was kind of forced on David Peralta. When Ender went down, he had to take those at-bats against left-handed pitching, but it has made him a better hitter against righties as well.
And this is since June 16th, when he took over as essentially an everyday outfielder. He's hit almost 350.
That's a better part of 2 months right there, hitting nearly 350, over 450 with runners in scoring position. The OPS over 1,000. I mean, he's been driving the ball to his pull field. He's been driving the ball to the opposite field, and I think it all started by facing more lefties.
Here's Chip Hale on that theory.
As a left-handed hitter, I always felt like when I face lefties, it kind of gets you right for the righties. So even if you struggle against them, it makes you keep your shoulder in there, and different mechanical things help you. So it's very true. He went to winter ball this winter and really worked on facing lefties. So in a strange way, Ender getting hurt and making David play against more lefties has really helped him.
And so we're set to go here at Turner Field coming up. Shelby Miller for the Braves and Ruby De La Rosa for the Diamondbacks. The rubber game of the 3-game set, then it's off to Pittsburgh. First pitch from Atlanta is next here on Fox Sports Arizona.
Fastball, and I don't see him getting away from that. You know, when a guy, you can tell he can locate his fastball, that's why he has the success. Anytime a guy can locate his fastball like he does, like even like yesterday's starter, he could spot it just above the zone or top of the zone to make you think you can get on top of that ball.
And then Cincinnati, your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Braves this afternoon. Shelby Miller, the 24-year-old right-hander, an all-star this season with a hard fastball. For the most part, he's pitched very well, but has not won a game somehow, despite that 2.48 ERA, since May 17th.
Well, part of the reason is the fact his offense has not scored a run for him in 10 of his starts this season. You see his arsenal on the mound. four-seam fastball, a two-seam sinker. He'll cut it occasionally. The curveball is his best secondary pitch. He will throw an occasional slider to a right-handed hitter, and he does have a changeup in his back pocket, but he rarely uses it.
That 2.48 ERA ranks Shelby Miller 6th best in the National League, winless in 15 consecutive starts. He has lost 8 straight decisions, the lowest run support in the major leagues. Ender Inciarte set to lead it off for the Diamondbacks. 299 and 3 homers. Chris Siegel is our plate umpire on a steamy afternoon in Atlanta, Georgia. And there's ball 1.
23 starts this season for Shelby Miller. In 18 of those, the Braves have scored 2 runs or less for him. It's no wonder the record is where it is, and the ERA is as sparkling as it is. You see what he's done in his last 15 starts, 0-8 with an ERA just over 3. But only 1.3 runs of support while he's on the mound.
And remarkably, his ERA during this 15-start winless streak has been 3.16. Very respectable, certainly. There's a strike. And according to Elias, the only big league pitcher to have a 15-start winless streak in one season with an ERA as low as Shelby Miller's was former Met Craig Swan in 1978. That's been it. 3-2. And the Braves have gone 2-13 during Miller's 15-start winless stretch. A leadoff walk. Take a look at the lineup for Chip Hale's Diamondbacks this afternoon.
Good start for Ender Inciarte. He's playing center field today, replacing A.J. Pollock out there. Aaron Hill at second base, raking over his last 7 games, 9 for 18. Paul Goldschmidt will be at first base with David Peralta cleaning up in left field. Wellington Castillo catching, Jake Lamb at third. Yasmani Tomas back in the lineup in right field. Nick Ahmed at shortstop, and Ruby De La Rosa on the mound for the D-backs.
Aaron Hill. Aaron at 231 and 5 home runs. His second straight start at second base for the Diamondbacks. And a single, a walk, and a sac fly RBI last night.
It seems like Aaron Hill finds his way into that starting lineup on days that the Diamondbacks face hard throwers. Foltynewicz yesterday, a guy that regularly rushed it up there in the high 90s, and Shelby Miller today with a real good fastball that'll sit in the mid to upper 90s. And Aaron Hill, he likes those fastball pitches.
1-1. Yeah, Aaron Hill hitting .300 over his last 13 games. 4 extra base hits and 5 RBIs in that span. Two and 1.
The Diamondbacks were real patient against Shelby Miller in Arizona earlier this year. He went 4 1/3 in that ball game, gave up 6 hits, also walked 6 batters.
Those are the numbers from that start, June the 2nd. If it weren't for bad luck, he'd have none at all, as the old song goes, right?
Yeah. Hee-haw.
That's true. They used to do that.
Yeah.
Junior samples. 2 and 1.
Gloom, despair, and agony on me.
Winless in 15 straight starts, the longest streak by a Braves pitcher since JoJo Reyes went 18 straight without a win from 2008 to 2009. Inciarte holds on the 2-1 pitch. That misses inside, and Miller, who walked Inciarte to lead off the ball game, is behind on Aaron Hill, 3-1. Goldie on deck.
Boy, Sunday morning kind of a crowd here at Turner Field today. Very quiet.
Sparse and quiet. It's a lazy fly ball along the right field line, headed for foul ground, and it drops in there. Tardoslavich and Peterson gave it a chase, but it's beyond the grasp, and Aaron Hill lives again on 3-2.
Yeah, we talked about this ballpark before the first game of this series. Very generic, vanilla ballpark. Not a lot of nooks and crannies. Nothing really to concern yourself with other than some foul territory beyond first and third base line. A lot of ground to cover over there in foul territory.
Three-two pitch. There goes Ender. Ball four. He has walked the first two batters. 2 on, nobody out for Goldie. Miller, we've talked a lot about the lack of run support and the bad luck he's had. He's not helping himself here. Because here comes the Major League's leading hitter at .341. Nolan Arenado of the Rockies matching Goldie's RBI pace. They're still tied for the National League lead.
Paul Goldschmidt, I think this is more a byproduct of the pitchers he faced in his first 9 games here at Turner Field when he hit just over 100 with no extra base hits, no runs driven in. You can see what he's done in his last 5.
So far, Shelby Miller, 13 pitches, only 4 strikes. 1-1.
We've also talked in the first 2 games this series about that Braves bullpen and how vulnerable they can be. Run up a pitch count on Shelby Miller and hopefully get him out of this ball game early and get into that bullpen.
Yeah, they've had a bunch of young guys back there. We saw that last night. They've added veteran Peter Moylan, called up from AAA today. It's been patchwork at best back there for Freddie Gonzalez this year. Miller ahead of Goldie, 1-2. And he got him. 96 right by him, 1 down.
It's an elevated fastball at 96 out of that quick slide step delivery. It looked like Goldie got caught by surprise a little bit by that quick delivery.
Goldie has now struck out 5 times in this series. He punched out 3 times last night. And here is David Peralta. You cannot get any hotter than this man right now. 304 and 12 homers. Number 12 came here last night. Had 2 hits and 3 RBIs in the win last night. Ball 1. And David has been an absolute beast in the cleanup spot. He has got 20 RBIs in his last 16 games.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Chip Hale talking last night about David Peralta. So let's hope David does get some credit around the league for what he's doing this year, but let's also make sure the other teams don't know that much about him. He's still something of a secret weapon, although that's changing quickly. There's a strike, 2-1. Last 20 games, hitting .456. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Last 16 games, .456 with the 20 RBIs. 2-1 pitch. Is that along the left field line, and it will be caught by Bourne in the corner. What a catch by Michael Bourne, and the Diamondback base runners have to scamper back. Well, Michael Bourne has been an outstanding defensive center fielder before, and he goes and gets this one in left.
Boy, nice diving catch right into the sidewall out there in foul territory. Shelby Miller gets a huge assist from his left fielder right there.
Twice a Gold Glover out there, and he's got a big one there for the second out. Brings up Wellington Castillo. So the Diamondbacks got a pair of walks to open up the ball game. First and second, no outs. Goldie struck out, Peralta flat out. Here's Castillo, 244 and 15 home runs. And Beef, a little undercooked the last couple of games. 0 for 8 at the plate with 4 strikeouts in his last 2 starts.
Well, that is rare.
I see what you did there. Nice. He struck out 3 times Friday in the series opener here.
Not only 2 walks in the inning, he's fallen behind in the count to 3 of the 4 hitters in this inning. And missing his spot by a wide margin. That time A.J. Pierzynski was set up way out on the outside corner, and Miller missed off the inside corner of the plate.
Got the corner that time. A ball and 2 strikes at 95. He did not, says Tom Hallion. 2-2. Freddie Gonzalez. Bullpen phone not working apparently. He does not look happy. Either that or the pitcher isn't working properly.
That too. I think he was upset with that check swing non-call also. A lot of things on his mind right now.
Castillo chases a high fastball. So Miller walks the first 2 and then gets 3 in a row with some help from Michael Bourne. And we go to the bottom of the first here at Turner Field. since July the 8th, and it looked like, Bob, that Michael Bourne got a little rug burn on that right hand, making that diving catch.
Yeah, I think he skinned up his right hand sliding across that warning track out there in right field. Keep an eye on the right hand as he puts it down and slides it across that dry, hard dirt out there on the warning track, and was looking at it for the rest of the inning, came back to the dugout and would only high-five his teammates with his left hand. So a little bit of a delay here. Freddie Gonzalez went to home plate umpire Chris Siegel, explained the situation, trying to get a Band-Aid or some kind of a wrap on that right hand before Michael Bourne takes his at bat.
He is in the leadoff spot for Freddie Gonzalez. In the meantime, we take a look at your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks as Bourne is ready to go here. It's Ruby De La Rosa looking for his 11th win this year. He is unbeaten since the All-Star break, 4-0 in his last 5 starts.
Yeah, only 4 pitchers in the National League can say that. Zach Greinke, Clayton Kershaw, John Lester, and Ruby De La Rosa, a perfect 4-0 since the break. You see his numbers on the season and his arsenal. Has incorporated more two-seamers recently, keeping the ball down, getting those ground balls. He's 5th in the National League, inducing double play grounders.
And Michael Bourne is set to go here. He's got some batting gloves on there. You know you're getting clobbered back home in the valley. Beautiful 85 degrees here, a little steamy, but nothing like the 117. So hang in and enjoy Diamondbacks baseball with us here on Fox Sports Arizona. Jake Lamb comes in on the grass at third. Strike one to Bourne. 235 for the year. Mostly now just a singles hitter. Only 13 extra base hits all season. Pulls that one foul. Quickly it's 0-2. Bourne has played only 6 games since rejoining the Braves after his trade from Cleveland August 7th, and has 1 for 17. Take a look at the lineup for the Braves this afternoon.
Michael Bourne leading off. He's already made his presence felt defensively out there in left field. Cameron Maben in center. Nick Markakis in right. A.J. Pierzynski over his last 12 games hitting .340. He'll be doing the catching. Adonis Garcia at third base. Jace Peterson at second. Joey Turdoslavich.
He said carefully.
Very carefully. At first base. Andrelton Simmons at short and Shelby Miller on the mound.
Nailed it as always. 2-2. Got him. One down for Ruby.
Yeah, we mentioned Ruby De La Rosa throwing more two-seam fastballs. You see through his first 18 starts this year, he only threw that two-seamer 14% of the time. It's up to 20% of the time over his last 5 starts, and the ground ball rate has gone up accordingly. The ERA has gone down, makes it much easier on Ruby, much more efficient, keeps that pitch count down.
Yeah, a ground ball rate for the season of just over 50%, which ranks Ruby in the top 25 among all major league starters. Cameron Maben. Maben 276 and 8 home runs, having a very good series against the Diamondbacks. He always seems to. He's got another base hit. So make him 5 for 9 in the series so far.
Pitch elevated on the inside part of the plate. As you said, Maben, for whatever reason, really seems to hit the D-backs well. At least he has in this series. Every mistake that's been made over the heart of the plate and up a little bit, he's been all over it.
And Maben has a double, a triple, 2 RBIs, and now 5 hits. Here's Nick Markakis, who is still looking for his first hit in this series, 0 for 8. But in Markakis' defense, he has had to face a pair of left-hand starters in Robbie Ray and Patrick Corbin. 296 and 2 home runs. Boy, Patrick Corbin was dynamite last night.
Oh man, just dealing. I mean, I made the comparison to another left-handed pitch for the Diamondbacks in this ballpark, Randy Johnson.
Markakis slaps it the other way for a base hit. A pair of one-out singles for Atlanta.
Certainly not the end results for Patrick Corbin, but just the way he went about his business last night, the crispness of his pitches, his command of everything on both sides of the plate, he was just great.
Just ruthless. So 2 on, 1 out for A.J. Przinsky. Diamondbacks had a 2 on, nobody out threat in the top half of this inning. Could not get a run across, and we'll see how Ruby does here. With Przinsky in there at .293 and 7 homers. He's got Maben at second and Markakis at first. This would be an opportune time for one of those ground balls.
Boy, would it ever. You got a guy at the plate that doesn't run particularly well. He's hit into 14 double plays already this year. Keep the ball down.
Lamb, Ahmed, Hill, and Goldie across the infield, third to first. 2-0. Przinsky started Friday's game behind the plate, went 0 for 3 with a walk. He was off yesterday. Two-0 pitch. Lines it right to Aaron Hill, and they have Maben doubled off. Well, that's as good as a ground ball double play. And Ruby is out of the inning. Aaron Hill in there at second again this afternoon, right to him. Ahmed is there for the put out of Maben, and we are through 1, no score. Arizona brings you an encore broadcast of Randy Johnson's jersey retirement ceremony from August 8th. If you missed this moment in history or you just want to see it again, well, now's your chance. It's on Fox Sports Arizona today, right after our ball game. Jake Lamb leads off the second against Shelby Miller.
Yeah, we're celebrating the summer of Randy in Arizona, and here in Atlanta, they're celebrating the summer of Smoltzy.
Yeah, they did Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like the summer of George.
No. And thanks once again to John Smoltz for paying us a visit. Very busy night for him, I'm sure, but made the time to stop by for half an inning. He's always great to talk to.
He's a good talker, that's for sure. There he is, 29. Miller's got that fastball hopping today. 1-2 on Lamb. He's already got 2 strikeouts. Jake 2 for 5, an RBI double last night. He's got 3 hits in the series. This is headed toward Bourne near the line. No dive attempt needed this time, and that's the first out in the second. Well, you mentioned John Smoltz, Bob, a moment ago. He has worked with Shelby Miller, and here's Miller.
Just have him there, it really locks you in and makes you want to, be the best you can be and see him with your best stuff and let him see your best stuff and stuff like that. So he's, it was awesome to have him there to help. I mean, right away he noticed some things that were wrong and we corrected it. And it's nice to have, not only him but guys around that come around all the time to help us with those kind of things.
Yasmani Tomas in there, and before John Smoltz had his ceremony here Friday, and after he played golf, of course, he was working in the Braves bullpen with their pitchers for about 45 minutes.
And a pair of shorts, a golf shirt, and loafers.
Just walked off the 19th hole. Well, Tomas, 303 and 7 home runs. He has not played since Tuesday after leaving that game against the Phillies with calf tightness. And so after 4 days off, he should be good to go. He's had 8 hits in his last 17 at-bats. And that has brought the batting average up to over 300 for the first time this month. Radoslavich at first. 2 down.
It's been pointed out to me that the Diamondbacks have lost all 3 Hall of Fame introduction games.
This was John Smoltz on Friday. Yeah, we were in Houston for Craig Biggio.
Mm-hmm.
We, of course, were home for Randy, and now we were in Atlanta for John Smoltz.
We don't play the Red Sox this year, do we?
Good thing.
That's a good thing.
The penny loafers. That's a great look, isn't it? Looks like somebody's neighbor watering his lawn.
I'll tell you, the scary thing is, back in the day, he could go out and pitch like that and still get people out.
You better believe it.
Oh, man.
Nick Ahmed. Nick, 227 home runs. There's that fastball again, 1-1. Nick 0 for 3 with a strikeout Friday. He was off yesterday. Trying to find it again. That same stroke at the plate that made him a 300 hitter for that 50-game stretch. That was earlier in the year. And since that stretch ended just before the All-Star break, Nick has hit 143 over his last 25 games. So it's been a season for Nick of peaks and valleys, and he's down in one of those valleys right now. Miller ahead 1-2. Got him. That's 3 strikeouts for Shelby Miller. He has retired 6 in a row. No score at Turner Field.
Road Warriors, 20 of their 26 games will be on the road. Went over 6,200 miles on that last 10-day road trip, over 4,300 on this road trip. Went 6-4 through Seattle, Houston, and D.C. And for Ruby De La Rosa, just follow the leader. If he can do anything close to what Patrick Corbin was able to accomplish last night, we'll take it.
Patrick was electric. And the Diamondbacks have won all 5 of Ruby De La Rosa's starts in the second half of the year, unbeaten since the All-Star break. Adonis Garcia leads off the Atlanta second. Well, he is a first pitch swinger, a one-hopper right to Aaron Hill. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, that's what Patrick Corbin did. Efficient ground ball outs.
Oh, yeah, had a lot of quick outs, 1-2 pitch outs. 3-pitch strikeouts, 4-pitch strikeouts. Really only had a couple of lengthy at-bats in his entire outing last night.
Yeah, no, he was really good.
Yeah, no.
Jace Peterson, 242 and 5 home runs. Peterson has 1 hit in the series, an RBI triple Friday. Last night, Peterson 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. He's ahead 2-0. This is the first game in this series in which Peterson has not hit from the leadoff spot. Chris Siegel from the Dan Bellino umpiring school with the immediate and loud strike call. That one got him.
Yeah, looked like it right off the instep of that right foot as he made his stride toward the mound and then just drove that ball right down off his own foot.
2-2. Just missed outside. It's full. Joey Trdoslavich, the first baseman, is on deck. So the numbers on Ruby. Faced these Braves June 3rd back at Chase Field. Struck out 8 in 5 innings. But gave up 7 earned runs on 9 hits. A ton of run support helped him avoid a loss there. D-backs won that game 9-8. And Freddie Freeman is on the DL right now for Atlanta. Homered twice off Ruby in that game. So Ruby caught a break there. Ball 4. First walk issued by Ruby.
You talk about traveling around, playing 20 of 26 on the road, and sometimes it's not who you're playing against, it's when you play against them. Anytime you roll into a Braves series and don't have to face Freddie Freeman for 3 days, that's a huge break.
Well, Freeman was here yesterday. He'll play a pair of AAA rehab games with nearby Gwinnett and be activated for their game Wednesday at San Diego, so he'll accompany the Braves on that road trip. And Joey Trdoslavich is at first base this afternoon. 204 and 1 home run. Atlanta still without Freeman. He's on the DL with an oblique. Says he's 100% ready to go. Just a couple of tune-up games needed. And he injured that oblique August 3rd after coming back from a wrist injury that had kept him out 5 weeks. So it's been a tough year health-wise for Freddie Freeman. 1-0.
Boy, given the accumulation of those 2 particular injuries, it may not be easy for Freddie to hit the ground running. I mean, wrist injuries are always tough to come back from, and those oblique muscles, yeah, many times a guy thinks he's at 100% until he really gets out there and tries to push it.
Well, that has been sort of the fallout here in Atlanta. The consensus is that they rushed Freeman back too early from that wrist injury, and that somehow affected the oblique. And John Hart has said that they could do it again, they would probably wait longer. after that first injury. And so you've got Trdoslavich in there today, just his 10th start this year at first. Shift is on for Trdoslavich, the switch hitter. Gonna wait until somebody calls time. Got to slow down Peterson if you can. He's got 10 stolen bases this year. Missed with that one. 2 balls and a strike. Ruby, 25 pitches right now. 14 strikes, 11 balls. Not quite the efficiency we were looking for.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman really doesn't like to run very much. Cameron Maben has 18 stolen bases. Michael Bourne, when he gets on, is a threat to steal. And as you mentioned, Jace Peterson with 10 stolen bases, but he's been caught 9 times. Yeah, Freddie Freeman is more of an American League style manager offensively.
There goes Peterson. The throw from Castillo is there, and they got him. Wellington Castillo throws out Peterson trying to steal for the second out.
Nice quick release. Another nice quick tag down there at second base, this time by Jake Lamb. Peterson had a pretty good jump looking back into home plate the entire time, which makes you think maybe it was a broken hit and run.
Yeah, that was not close, and Trdoslavich knocks that into center. A 2-out single. Brings up Andrelton Simmons. Simmons, 257, 3 homers, and he has reached base safely in half of his plate appearances in this series. He has singled twice, walked twice, and scored twice.
I misidentified the receiver of that throw from Wellington Castillo. That was Nick Ahmed that took the throw and slapped that tag down quickly on Jace Peterson. With that shift on, sometimes I'm not sure who's playing where.
It does get tricky out there. Need guys to wear different colored wristbands or something. I mean, half the time it might be the third baseman on that play taking the throw. There's strike 1. Had Lamb at third, Ahmed at short, Hill at second, Goldie at first. Peralta, Inciarte, Tomas left to right in the outfield. Here's another look.
Yeah, Nick Ahmed was the lone defender on that left side of the infield. Got to the bag quickly, and man, does he get that tag down in a hurry.
And the throw was there, too. That was not even close. 1-1. Nick Ahmed one more time on the short hop. Charges that one. Throws out Simmons, and Ruby is out of trouble in the second. No score in Atlanta.
Diamondbacks hitting coach. I'm Todd Walsh, and welcome back, Steve and Bob. Interesting couple of days here. Orlando Hudson's son, Orlando, was here, and Olin Ward hanging out with the Diamondbacks, and I mean really hanging out with them. Stretching, as you can see, talking to guys in the clubhouse, on the team bus. And last night, when we got back to the hotel, it was a touching moment. Turner Ward with his son, and his son wanted to make sure he said goodbye. Had to go back to Alabama, so we stood by the hotel elevators and gave knuckles to every player, and they all stopped, and they all wanted to make sure that they knew that he was around and that they remembered him just as much as he was going to remember this experience. He was a little down today, as you can imagine, but Bob, I'm sure you can appreciate the value of having your son hang around, right?
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, they've been busy. They've been out there shagging balls and taking batting practice and stretching with the team, playing catch with the guys to get them loose before they went out to take their ground balls. What an experience.
We gave him all the credit for the win last night, the little guy.
Yeah.
Sitting on the bus, riding back through that Buckhead traffic. Stay hot. Ruby De La Rosa strikes out to open up the third. That's 4 strikeouts for Miller, who has retired 7 straight since walking Inciarte and Hill to lead off the ball game. And here's Ender. Michael Bourne going to give him another test near the seats, but this one is out of play. Ender 3 for 7 in the series. He's also walked 3 times and scored 4 runs. That's what you're looking for from your leadoff guy. How about that?
Pretty much, yeah.
You got Ender doing just what you want in the leadoff spot. Peralta collecting RBIs like they're going out of style in the cleanup spot. That's the way it's supposed to work. 1-1. Garcia and Terdoslavich slow to react when they saw Ender square to bunt. They both panicked and started sprinting in.
Now, Garcia plays a little shallower for the left-handed hitters that might bunt, guys like Ender Inciarte, but with the righties, he's been playing back behind the bag there at third base. I was kind of surprised that Chris Owings and/or Nick Ahmed didn't try to drop a bunt down that third baseline the last couple days.
Watch the corners react. Yikes! This is at 95, and it's full 3-2. He walks in Ciarte for the second time in the ball game. That one was close.
Yeah, very close. The 3-2 slider. Kind of surprised that Miller is dancing around Ender Inciarte the way he has.
Boy, that's a good pitch right there. Chris Siegel missed one. A 1-out base runner for Aaron Hill, who walked his first time up. D-backs still looking for their first base hit. This is out to Maben in center. Gets himself kind of turned around out there with those long legs. 2 down. Not sure which direction he was planning on facing that time.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks victory, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
Goldie, a strikeout victim, back in the first. He has struck out 5 times in the series, including 3 times last night. Ender started with one of those running leads before Miller delivered that pitch, and then decided almost halfway to second to stop. And you can see him kicking himself. He had a tremendous jump, but just didn't commit. And Miller noticed too. Goldie 3 for 10 in the series, 3 RBIs. Close play at first. He's back safely, says Tom Hallion.
Ender didn't have that much of a lead that time, but kind of caught him as he was ready to take an extra step and try to get a little bit more of a lead over there. Kind of caught him in between strides as he was taking his lead.
Goldie having trouble catching up to that high fastball for Miller. That's the pitch on which he struck him out in his first at bat. Shelby Miller winless in 15 consecutive starts. He has lost 8 straight decisions.
Well, one thing you learn as a base stealer, you see where that grass, the corner of the grass is right there, almost to where Ender Inciarte is taking his lead off. It used to be fairly uniform from ballpark to ballpark. That cut of the grass would be almost exactly the same distance from first base, but with a lot of the newer ballparks and some creative grounds crews, sometimes that cut of the grass is a step or two farther towards second base. Sometimes it's closer to first base. So that can't really be used as a yardstick anymore when you take your lead off first base.
Remember those old artificial turf fields where they would have just a square or patch of dirt, and you could always tell when the guy, the Willie Wilson types, would have one or even both feet on the turf.
That's how you could tell they had a maximum lead over there at first base.
Shelby Miller, 50 pitches, only 29 strikes. 2-2 on Goldie. And he got him again. He strikes out Goldie for the second time this afternoon. They strand the one-out walk. Bottom third coming up. No score at Turner Field. Bob Brenly and Todd Walsh with you. Diamondbacks and Braves scoreless as we begin the bottom of the third with Shelby Miller, the pitcher, up against Ruby De La Rosa. Ruby so far has given up 3 hits, all singles. He has walked 1 and struck out 1. And Ruby coming off wins over the Nationals and the Phillies. He has allowed more than 3 earned runs. Only once in his last 5 starts. And since the All-Star break is 4-0. And he punches out Miller for his second strikeout. Michael Bourne, a strikeout victim his first time up. Michael Bourne was an all-star here in Atlanta back in 2012. Hit .274 that year, stole 42 bases. And then the following season left, got a 4-year, $48 million free agent deal with Cleveland. But now is back with the Braves, and he's owed $14 million for next year. So they are picking up the tab on the last year of that Cleveland contract, with the goal of being free and clear for 2017 when they open their new ballpark. It's the same reason they acquired Nick Swisher in that same deal for Chris Johnson.
I thought maybe Michael Bourne gave the Indians an ultimatum.
What would that be?
The Bourne ultimatum.
Oh, see, that's good. You've been sitting on that all weekend, huh? He finally got a start. Where's that card?
It's at the bottom of the pile. I had to dig for it.
Was that one of them? There was the supremacy.
Identity, supremacy, ultimatum, and legacy.
Oh, they made that one without Matt Damon. Peralta can't run that down, and Bourne will stop at second with a double. His 13th double this year, his first for the Braves.
A slicing drive down into that left field corner, carried a lot farther than it looked like it was going to off the bat. David Peralta playing shallow. You can see he's going straight back toward that foul pole. Just could not catch up. Yeah, if Michael Bourne hits one over your head to the opposite field, he's earned it. I mean, he doesn't drive the ball out there to left field very often. He'll hit some ground balls through the left side, some soft liners right at the left fielder, but you rarely see him hit a ball over the head of an outfielder.
Well, this is the guy you don't want up in this situation. Cameron Maybin, who singled his first time today. 5 for 9 in the series. And Maybin, including this ball game, has now hit safely in 5 straight and 8 of his last 9. He's up near 280 for the year. Ball 1. Cameron Maybin feeling very much at home in his new ballpark, hitting .320 at Turner Field this year, under .240 on the road. A roller to shortstop. Ahmed has it. 2 down. No advance for Bourne. Hey fans, now is the time. Tweet us your strongest Diamondback fan photo. Use the hashtag AZDataStrongFan. AZDataStrongFan. And you might, if Jeff Munn selects your photo, the friendly committee complies, see your picture on our Diamondback TV broadcast, brought to you by T-Mobile.
Yeah, Money was busy this morning. I saw him. He had a big gulp coffee over there next door in the radio booth, was just perusing the photos. So I got a feeling he's going to come up with something spectacular today.
I saw him actually in the hotel lobby earlier today. He was working on those photos since the crack of dawn. He's got a lot on his plate. There's Nick Markakis. Single back of the first. There is Moneyball. Tom Candiotti and the ubiquitous Leo Gilmartin, wearing some very questionable shoes. I was shocked and appalled at Leo's choice of footwear today. They got Bourne wandering off the bag, and they throw it in center field. Inciarte has it to play at third, and he overslides the bag. They got him. Well, first, the Diamondbacks made the mistake by throwing that one away into center. Ender pounced on it, fired a strike into Jake Lamb. It was going to be close anyway, and then Bourne overslid the bag, and they get him. And so we are through 3 in Atlanta. Not exactly an artistic success. No score.
Here's a guy that steals bases for a living. And just another horrible slide. Waited way too late to go into his slide. Bounced right off the bag into foul territory for an easy third out of the inning.
Big break for the Diamondbacks. And Peralta leads off the fourth against Shelby Miller. Miller so far has walked 3 and struck out 5. He's yet to allow a hit. David flied out his first time up. Bourne made a spectacular diving catch in foul ground in the left field corner. Shoots it out there one more time. One away.
You know, we had some shots of our bullpen in Colorado when they were making various weapons to shoot at each other. I don't know what they're doing out there right now. Putting up a tent or something?
It's like a science experiment.
And Andrew Chafin and Josh Coleman are the two main culprits, which is exactly what you would expect.
If you were going to do some kind of astronomy thing where you did the rotation of the planets and the sun and all that stuff, it would look something like that.
They may have unwound a baseball. Occasionally when you're bored down there and you find a ball that's got a cut on the cover of the baseball, you go ahead and unpeel it just to see what's inside the milk chocolate center.
Adonis Garcia throws out Castillo, 2 down. 4 in a row set down by Miller. Yeah, this can only lead to trouble. Mark Reed's involved. Get to the bottom of that. Jake Lamb.
I think the average fan would be amazed as to what goes on down in that bullpen early in a ball game when your starting pitcher's cruising along. You know, you'd like to think, well, Ruby looks pretty good today. You know, we're probably not going to be busy down here for at least a few innings. What can we get into? And they always seem to find something.
Not a lot of choices back there either. Although in Colorado, you can wander off into the woods. Uh-oh. Looking for new material. Oh, no. I need something to hammer with. Wait, I found this thing. Called strike 3. Rings up Lamb. 6 strikeouts for Shelby Miller. Caution, men working. Of this 3-game series. Diamondbacks have been out hit 4-zip. Ruby De La Rosa so far has given up 4 hits, 3 of them singles, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And Nick Markakis, who was up when Michael Bourne was thrown out, oversliding the bag at third, will lead off the 4th. And it looks like during the commercial break, Bob, that the bullpen Popo showed up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yep, see? It's the fuzz. Cheese it.
5-0.
I think they put a stop to those shenanigans, whatever they were.
It could have been one of those snare traps, you know, somebody that walks into the bullpen that's not supposed to be there, suddenly finds himself hanging upside down by their heels.
Like on Gilligan's Island. 2-0 on Markakis, who singled his first time up. Definitely a Sunday morning feel here at the ballpark this afternoon in Atlanta. This is, as you were saying, kind of like a Fulton Stadium crowd. Fulton County Stadium.
Yeah, on Fan Appreciation Day.
A little thin there at times.
Oh, at times, yeah.
Ruby's behind 3-0. Yeah, as you know, they're ready for college football down here. SEC country. Leadoff walk to Markakis. Second walk issued by Ruby.
Well, if you combined a college football Saturday here in Atlanta with a Braves home game, people might be stranded on the freeway for days.
They are anyway. Yeah, Georgia Tech has its home stadium right on the campus, right in the middle of downtown Atlanta, which is, what, 2 or 3 miles at the most from where we are on the highway, and everybody spills onto the same 6 lanes, and forget it, gridlock. Brzezinski lined into a double play his first time. The Diamondbacks have the shift on. Here's a look at the D-backs defensively. Nick Ahmed, the only guy over there on the left-hand side of the infield. Brzezinski carves it down the line the other way, but foul. AJ has really picked up the pace offensively after his average dipped below 260. That was on the 4th of July. And ever since then, he's hit about 360 over his last 28 games, all starts. He's been a workhorse back there at the age of 38.
For me, he's been a very underrated player throughout his career. He's always had some issues throwing out opposing base stealers, but you know, his experience behind the plate, the pitchers that he's handled as he lofts one out to enter Inciarte in center should be no problem. His bedside manner isn't always exactly what you'd like it to be, but based on his experience and some of the guys he's caught and some of the pitchers he's faced over the course of his career, and that bat's no good.
You were talking about bedside manner. I hate this bat.
Stupid bat.
A.J. Parts of 18 seasons in the big leagues, a lifetime average of 282. Here's Adonis Garcia. Well, he is up there swinging at the first pitch every time. Ruby, Ahmed, Goldie, they turn it. There's the double play. The 1-6-3. This was his reaction after lining into double play the first time. So 2 at bats, 2 broken bats. Still no score in Atlanta.
Arizona is brought to you in part by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter.
Turner Field, Atlanta. Braves and Diamondbacks are scoreless as we start the 5th inning, and Shelby Miller should be used to that. He's yet to allow a hit so far. He has walked 3 and struck out 6, and Yasmani Tomas leads off the Arizona 5th. The Braves are scoring just 2.5 runs per game for Shelby Miller in his starts this year. His run support average is the lowest, absolute dead last among all qualified major league starters. In fact, he has had 10 starts this year in which he's failed to get any run support at all, 0. And that's the most of the major leagues. And that's the big reason why he is winless in 15 straight starts. And Atlanta has gone only 2 and 13 in those 15 starts. And still a goose egg up there for the Braves, although they have out-hit the Diamondbacks 4-zip.
AJ's having himself a fine day back there. That one looked like it hit him right in the heart.
It's payback for the bats.
Yeah.
It's karma.
Oof, man. Sometimes you have those kind of days.
Where, oh, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone?
I searched the world over. I thought I'd found true love.
You met another and you was gone.
You was gone.
That's probably where He Gone came from.
Yeah, it could be.
Charlie Weaver and that whole group on He Ho. Once again, we're nailing that 18-25 demo. There's a bouncer to first for the first out in the 5th. 6 in a row set down by Miller. Nick Ahmed now. Well, Shelby Miller has always had potential ace-type expectations. He was 22 2 seasons ago when he won 15 games for the Cardinals, a 3.06 ERA. Last year struggled at times through a 10-9 season in St. Louis, but this year at the age of 24 he has stopped trying to overpower everyone all the time, and as Bob mentioned earlier, gone to more two-seam fastballs, trying to get those quick economical ground ball outs, and throwing a lot more two-seamers and cutters this year. But when he wants it, he's got that 97, 98 in the tank.
Had an opportunity to see Shelby Miller pitch in the 2011 season down in the Florida State League. El Presidente
Dennis Martinez
was his pitching coach. Yeah.
Well, he was a great pitcher.
Oh, yeah, he was. And I'd known Dennis a little bit from playing against him and coaching against him and broadcasting games, and went down to say hello to him right after Shelby Miller finished his warm-up pitches. And he says, "Are you going to stick around for the game?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, my son plays for Daytona." He says, "Well, you guys might get no hit today."
Wow.
But, yeah, it was pretty apparent very early on in Shelby Miller's career. He was going to be a top-of-the-rotation guy for somebody. The Cardinals thought it was going to be them for a long time, but now finds himself here in hot Atlanta leading this Braves rotation.
First-round pick by St. Louis in the 2009 draft out of Brownwood, Texas. Another big right-hand power-throwing Texan as he gets Ahmed for his 7th strikeout.
Slider in the dirt. And let me guess, Shelby Miller's heroes are Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, and Kerry Wood.
They all come from the same model. I mean, 6'3", 215 from Texas, right-hander. That's the model we saw last night, in fact, with Mike Foltynewicz. Ruby's going to go up there and maybe just look at 3 here. Miller, after walking Inciarte and Hill to open up the ball game, retired the next 7 he faced before he walked Ender again. And since that walk to Inciarte with 1 out in the 3rd, he's retired once again. 7 straight Diamondbacks. And he's ahead of Ruby, 1-2. He has yet to allow a hit. I guess he figures, well, with the run support I've been getting, I can't give up anything. He might be right. He rings up Ruby. 8 strikeouts for Shelby Miller. He has set down 8 straight. 5 innings of hitless baseball. No score in Atlanta.
Shelby Miller's been a little bit better, has yet to give up a hit in the ball game. And they've had an assist from the Atlanta Braves today. Some shaky base running. Line drive double play right at Aaron Hill that time. They double off Maben at second base. The pickoff attempt at second base on Michael Bourne. He ends up getting thrown out at third when he overslides the bag. And then a 1-6-3 double play right back to Ruby on to Nick Ahmed and Goldie to complete that double play. There was also a caught stealing at second base by Wellington Castillo.
And now Jace Peterson leads off the bottom of the 5th. No score at Turner Field. Peterson walked his first time up today. Peterson, another one of the young guys they're building around here in Atlanta. Former first-round pick. He played football at McNeese State. He was a good football player. A defensive back. And he rolls this one by a diving Ahmed and into center. A base hit. Leadoff single.
Ruby not always in the best fielding position once he lets that ball go. That wasn't hit particularly hard right back over the mound, but Ruby kind of falls off to that first base side, lets that ball sail right behind his back, and Nick Ahmed can't quite get there.
Well, the last time Peterson was aboard after that walk in the second inning, he was thrown out attempting to steal on an absolute rocket from Wellington Castillo. He's on first again, nobody out. The Diamondbacks put the shift on for Joey Turdoslavich, the first baseman. He singled his first time up. There's a strike on 1. This is skied way up in that bright sunshine. Ender fighting it, looking for it, and he's got it. There is some cloud cover here, but it's awfully bright.
Yeah, this is one of those days that can bite you if you wear the kind of sunglasses that Ender Inciarte has on right now. Some of the guys put them up on the top of their cap when the sun goes behind a cloud, but you never know when it's going to come back out from behind that cloud. And obviously when that ball's up in the air, you don't have time to pull the shades off your hat and put them on your face.
Andrelton Simmons. That's why you think somebody by now would have made a cool looking pair of the flip downs.
Yeah.
Simmons grounded out his first time, the shortstop. That's a terrible swing. I mean, that's just not. That's not making the Tom Amansky video.
No. He just up there hunting a fastball first pitch. Assumed that Ruby was going to try to jump ahead with that heater, and instead Ruby threw him that slider off the outside corner, and Simmons swung at a fastball.
He's got that right foot all the way there on that back line of the batter's box, Andrelton Simmons. This was a guy that had 17 home runs just 2 years ago, his first full big league season. And he's not shown power anywhere close to that since. In fact, it's now been 75 games since he last homered. So here he is, batting eighth for Freddie Gonzalez. The 0-1. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Peralta picks it up. Bo Porter will stop Peterson at third. And Simmons is in there with a one-out double.
Just inside that third baseline for Andrelton Simmons, past a diving Jake Lamb. David Peralta came up firing to second base right there, hoping to perhaps catch Simmons cruising into second rather than going in hard, but Braves have him at second and third with one out in the inning.
Chip Hale coming out to the mound. It's conference time. Got the pitcher Shelby Miller up and first base open.
Now, Miller's a really good bunter. He led the National League with 13 sacrifice bunts last year. He has 7 already this season. This could possibly be a potential squeeze defense meeting out there on the mound.
Chris Siegel going to come out there and break it up. So Ruby in a mess here, second and third, one out in a scoreless fifth. Miller struck out his first time up today. Infield in for the Diamondbacks. There's the strike.
Miller 3 for 40 on the season. However, 2 of his 3 hits have gone for extra bases, a couple of doubles.
This is upstairs. It's 2 balls and a strike. A long look down to Bo Porter at third. Missed away, and it's 3-1. Ruby wanted that one. Chris Siegel not fighting. Oh, that's a great pitch.
That's a good pitch.
That's a real good pitch.
You got to let that go, Ruby. Focus on the next pitch.
This is where you need the Ruby whisperer. Wellington Castillo. You can see Ruby out there is rattled now. He's got to lock in again here. Three and one. They walked him. Bases are loaded with one out for Michael Bourne. Third walk issued by Ruby De La Rosa.
Well, it seems like every pitcher has a part of the ball game where they struggle more than other parts, and for Ruby it's been the fifth inning. He's allowed more runs in the fifth inning than any other inning, and he's got the highest batting average against in the fifth inning.
Well, it's Jace Peterson at third, Andrelton Simmons at second, and Shelby Miller, the pitcher, is at first. Bourne has struck out and doubled, 1 for 2. Bases full, one out. Again, it's the question of focus and concentration. This is something we've seen throughout the year, Bud.
Well, and perhaps with the runner at second base going through a series of signs, anytime you see the middle infielders out there at the mound as well, usually that means that the pitcher and catcher are going to change their signs. And Nick Ahmed then, of course, wants to know what sign are you using so he can at least get a little bit of a lean in one direction or the other, anticipating what pitch is coming. Michael Bourne, a tough guy to double up.
Slow roller to shortstop, and it hits Simmons. Peterson is in from third. It looked like it went off Ahmed's glove and then hit the runner Simmons as he was moving second and third. It's 1-0 Atlanta, and the bases are still full.
Yeah, Nick touched the ball first. It appeared moving to his right, was going to try to scoop and I believe maybe throw home, because they certainly didn't have time to turn a double play right there, but the ball hit off the heel of his glove and then hit the runner going by.
So it's E6. A run is in to make it 1-0, and they're still loaded with one out. Now it's Cameron Maben. Maben has singled and grounded out, 1 for 2. He's got 5 hits in the series. Ball 1.
I mentioned Michael Bourne, a tough guy to double up because of his speed coming out of that left-handed batter's box. Cameron Maben, with the speed that he possesses, has bounced into 14 double plays this year.
He counted that one, 94 from Ruby. It's 1-1. Maben last 11 games hitting better than .330, including 5 extra base hits. Fastball again, 1-2.
Boy, just enough movement to get that ball down underneath the swing of Cameron Maben. Little sinking, tailing action off that inside corner.
Castillo can't hang on, and Maben is still alive.
Always frustrating for a catcher when you drop that foul tip on a potential strike 3, but there's really nothing you can do. That ball was misdirected just enough to get it out of the pocket of the glove and hit down near the heel and fall harmlessly to the right side.
It stays 1-2. Got him. A big strikeout for Ruby. 2 down. And here's Markakis.
Well, that was one of his better sequences of the afternoon right there. Pounded Maben inside with hard tailing fastballs early in the count and then leads him right out of the strike zone low and away with a hard slider.
Just his 3rd strikeout. So bases loaded, 2 down. Nick Markakis has singled and walked. Simmons is the runner at 3rd. Miller the pitcher at 2nd. And Michael Bourne at 1st. Carves the first one to left field. Peralta. And Ruby leaves him loaded. A good job by Ruby there to keep the damage to 1 run. And through 5, the Diamondbacks trail it 1-0. Brought to you in part by your Valley Honda dealer, where you'll get more standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One, great taste, no face, available at local retailers. Atlanta, Georgia, Diamondbacks trail the Braves 1-0 as we start the 6th inning. Good example there of what Shelby Miller has gone through with this Atlanta team this year. They had the bases full and they could only sneak 1 run across there. Lack of run support has just killed him this season. But he has yet to allow a hit through 5 innings. He has walked 3 and struck out 8. He's retired the last 8 Diamondbacks he's faced. And Ender Inciarte will lead it off. Ender has walked twice. And with the exception of that Inciarte walk, with 1 out in the 3rd, Shelby Miller has retired 15 of the last 16 he's faced. There's the strike, 1-1. A 2.48 ERA going into the ball game, 6th best in the National League. Ender reaches out, and so does Shelby Miller. Look what I found. Glove save and a beauty. His eyes closed, turned around backwards, and it found the mitt for 1 out.
That's not fair.
It ain't. Come on.
I don't know if it had enough steam to sneak through the infield with Andrelton Simmons closing ground at shortstop, but it would have been nice to see Shelby Miller with a behind-the-back play for the out at first.
Starting to get about that point in these types of games where you go, something's going on here. 9 straight set down. Here's Aaron Hill, has walked and flied out. Shelby Miller walked the first 2 batters he faced this afternoon, Inciarte and Hill, and you wondered what kind of a day it might be for him. He has really settled down since. 16 of the last 17.
So after the first 2 batters of the game, both walks, it was questionable whether Miller was going to get out of the first inning. He was spraying it all over the place to the first 2 hitters of the game, but then struck out Goldie, got David Peralta to fly out to left. Wellington Castillo went down on strikes, and he has been totally in command since.
He's ahead of Aaron Hill, a ball and 2 strikes. Fly ball, left center. Bourne has it, 2 down. Here's Goldie, who was 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. The 1-0 misses, 2 balls and no strikes. Goldie 3 for 11 in the series. 2-1. Jam shot, pop up, foul ground, first base side. Brzezinski. And Shelby Miller has retired 11 straight Diamondbacks, 6 innings without a hit. He's got a 1-0 lead.
Bistro, your neighborhood pizza joint. We are athletic supporters. And by Card Power, from Arizona Federal Credit Union. Now that's the power of us.
See, Bob, I told you the traffic in Atlanta moves. Not really. Bottom 6, Turner Field. Diamondbacks 6 hitless innings against Shelby Miller, who leads it 1-0, and A.J. Pierzynski leads it off against Ruby De La Rosa. Shift is on for the Diamondbacks. That misses inside. 1-0. A.J. so far 0 for 2 and 2 broken bats.
Made 3 outs in 2 at-bats.
Lined into a double play, hit it right to Aaron Hill at second base, and they doubled off a runner. And flat out to center his last time up. Bounces a high hopper out to the outfield, but Aaron Hill is there with a shift on, and that's the first out here in the 6th.
The good news is for A.J.'s bat is he dropped it at home plate, so it will survive for one more at bat. Unlike his first 2 bats, lined into that double play and took it out on the bat rack when he got back into that Braves dugout, and then popped that one up in his next at bat. Stupid bat.
Adonis Garcia has swung at the first pitch in both his first 2 at bats, and sure enough, he shows some discipline there, but takes a strike. So 3 outs on 2 pitches so far for Garcia. Before that one, he has grounded out and hit into a double play. 0 for 2. Garcia, a pair of hits last night, including a double and an RBI. He's got 3 hits in the series. A 30-year-old rookie. 1-2. Finally got a crack at the big league roster with the Braves. Moved some guys. Juan Uribe, Kelly Johnson to the Mets at the deadline. And Freddie Freeman went back on the DL. Chris Johnson was traded. And suddenly, Adonis Garcia had a job at third. And he's done a pretty good job. He's got 4 home runs. He's hit safely in 4 straight. 2-2. Jake Lamb. Nice backhand scoop by Goldie. 2 ground ball outs for Ruby.
We haven't seen many of those one-hop throws from Jake over the last month or so. You may remember earlier this season, it seemed like every ground ball to third base was a one-hop throw to first, and Goldie had to pick him out of the dirt. But more recently, Jake has been right on with his throws across the diamond.
Chase Peterson. He singled to lead off the 5th. He has scored the game's only run. What are your thoughts on saying the 2 magic words in these kind of situations? Because viewers always go nuts when you say the words, like we control what's happening on the field.
Well, if that was the case, there'd be a no-hitter every day. For a D-back pitcher.
Pardon me, a what?
A no-hitter.
Here you go. Just for the record. I state your name. Fly ball center. Ender backing up at the track, at the wall. He won't get there. And it's over the center field wall for a 2-out ground rule double. And Peterson's aboard for the 3rd time today.
Well, you know how Hawk Harrelson feels about that. Call your friends. Call your neighbors. Mark Burley's got a no-hitter going.
Whole lot of he-gons.
Yep, boy, that slider just caught enough of that outer third of the plate that Peterson was able to square it up to straightaway center. 1 hops over the wall out there. Gonna have to pitch around that 2-out base hit.
Tradoslavich, the first baseman, has singled and flied out. 1 for 2. Trying to keep this a 1-0 ball game against Shelby Miller, who has retired. 18 of the last 19 he's faced. 6 innings of no-hit ball. And Ruby, despite the fact he's not been super economical out there, is still only a smidge over 80 pitches here through 5 2/3. He has walked 3, struck out 3, given up 7 hits, and made it through that 5th inning with the bases loaded, gave up just the 1 run.
Got through 20 pitches in that 5th inning, but faced 7 Braves hitters to throw those 20 pitches. That's not bad.
And he's had, for the most part, that ground ball working. So here's Terdoslavich. He's got 2 hits in the series, a double on Friday, a single his first time up today. Missed inside, right on the hands, 1-0. Freddie Freeman, if you're just joining us, still out on the DL with an oblique injury. They think he'll be back Wednesday when the Braves are at San Diego. That backs up Goldie. Ruby will cover, and he strands the 2-out double. Here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. No hits for the Diamondbacks through 6. David Peralta will try and change that. He'll lead off the 7th after his homer last night.
This day in Major League Baseball history, August 16th, 1968, Denny McLain, with a 4-0 victory over Boston, improves his record to 16-0 on the road on his way to a 31-6 season for the Detroit Tigers. He finished the season 17-2 on the road with an ERA under 1.5.
That 68 Tiger team was tremendous. Man. So Peralta leads off the 7th against Shelby Miller, who has retired 11 straight and 18 of the last 19 he's faced. So far, 6 no-hit innings. And there has been only one individual Brave pitcher to ever throw a no-hitter in Atlanta. Remarkable when you consider the pitching history here. In this city, they've been in Atlanta 50 years now. And that was Phil Niekro in 1973. The Braves
knuckleball dancing that day.
Probably did, huh? 1973, Phil Niekro. No hit San Diego. That was a day game. They won 9-0. Now the Braves do have a combined no-hitter in Atlanta. That was 1991 as Peralta draws a leadoff walk, the 4th walk issued by Miller. 1991 in September, Kent Burker, Mark Wohlers, Alejandro Pena, also, coincidentally, not ironically, against the Padres. That was a night game. They won 1-0. The only 2 no-hitters by the Braves here in Atlanta.
Finished up by Alejandro Pena? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
First 8 innings took an hour. The last inning took an hour.
Don't be bitter. Wellington Castillo.
His nickname was Alejandro Rain de la Pena. It just kind of rolls right off your tongue. This is a guy that could come in and turn a 3-up, 3-down inning into a half an hour. Get him out there.
Castillo was struck out and grounded out 0 for 2. Miller now at 92 pitches, 56 strikes. The most pitches he has thrown this season, 112. And that's been the only time he's been over 106 in a ball game. He's been between 100 and 106 9 times. Ahead of Castillo, 0 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Shelby Miller walked the first 2 batters he faced this afternoon, Inciarte and Hill. And then retired 18 of 19 before the walk to Peralta to lead off the 7th. Two is fouled off.
Well, this could lead to a tough decision for Roger McDowell, the pitching coach, and Freddie Gonzalez, the manager. If the pitch count continues to creep up there, he's at 96 right now. Got to remind you of the Diamondbacks' Edwin Jackson no-hitter back in 2010 against the Rays, threw 149 pitches because he walked 8 guys in that no-hitter.
Miller has walked 4. He's got 8 strikeouts. 2-2. And there is some activity in the Atlanta bullpen. Peter Moylan just called up today. The former Brave, who's a Tommy John patient. 2-2 pitch. Got him. 9 strikeouts for Miller. 1 down in the 7th.
93-mile-an-hour heater up and off the plate inside that time. Wellington Castillo just could not hold up.
Jake Lamb 0 for 2. He has flied out and struck out looking. Shelby Miller has not won a ball game since May 17th. And that's despite the fact he's got the 6th best ERA in the National League. No run support and not a whole lot today. Just inside, a ball and a strike. Miller winless in 15 straight starts. He has lost 8 straight decisions, despite the fact his ERA during that 15-start winless streak is 3.16. He has received no run support. 1-2. In fact, he has received the worst run support, or the lowest, of any pitcher in the major leagues. But he's only needed 1 here today. About to throw pitch number 100. Is high again for the year, 112. 1-2 on Jake Lamb. Ooh, that got him.
It looked like it hit just inside of that ankle guard that he wears on the right foot. Oh, just above it, actually, on the shin. Ouch. It's always been amazing to me. I've talked about it many times. It hasn't stopped hurting, but guys have the ability to kind of put it on the back burner. I know it hurts, and I know it's going to hurt when I finish this at bat, but I've got to focus, and unfortunately swings through a slider for strike 3.
10 strikeouts for Shelby Miller. 2 down in the 7th. And the hitter will be Yasmani Tomas. Tomas has twice grounded out to first. David Peralta, the runner at first, 2 outs. Another roller for Doslovich, the backhander. Miller covers, and he's 6 outs away from a no-hitter. We stretch in Atlanta. Diamondbacks down 1-0. Diamondbacks trail the Braves 1-0. As we are set for the bottom of the 7th here at Turner Field in Atlanta. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly, and Todd Walsh with you. Ruby De La Rosa so far has done a pretty good job. Not spectacular, but effective. He's given up just 1 run on 7 hits. He has walked 3 and struck out 3. But Shelby Miller so far has thrown 7 no-hit innings. And here we are, 1-0.
I mentioned that Ruby De La Rosa, the 5th inning seems to be his kryptonite, and that's when the Braves scored their 1 run. The real key at bat in that inning was the walk to the pitcher, Shelby Miller. With a couple of guys on base, that loaded him up and set the way for Michael Bourne's grounder to Nick Ahmed that he could not handle. That's been the only run of the ball game.
And Miller will bat 2nd in this inning. Simmons, Miller, Bourne, 8-9-1 in the Atlanta 7th. As we take a look at the rest of our road trip here, we are off to Pittsburgh right after this ball game. Let's Go Places, brought to you by your Valley Toyota dealer. We come your way tomorrow from PNC Park in Pittsburgh, where Jeremy Hellickson gets Garrett Cole, one of the hottest pitchers in baseball right now. First of 3 against the Pirates, then it's off to Cincinnati for 4 versus the Reds.
I bet you Jeremy Hellickson gets a knock against Garrett Cole tomorrow.
The way he's swinging the bat.
Oh, yeah.
I won't argue. Diamondbacks looking for 1 knock. They have yet to record a hit. But first, Ruby has to get through this 7th. And Andrelton Simmons, who doubled his last time up, will lead it off. The line on Ruby so far.
Right, for the Diamondbacks offensively again, Jekyll and Hyde. 30 times this year they've scored 7 or more runs in a game, including last night. But 21 times they've scored 1 or no runs. Feast or famine.
Trying not to get no hit. And Ruby has been fairly efficient so far. Not so much with the balls and strikes, but he's got some quick outs. Only at 84 pitches now as we start the 7th. And Simmons slams that right at Peralta in left, 1 away. Here's Miller.
You know, one thing I know from past experience, having him in the dugout as a player and also listening to some of his telecasts when he was up here in the booth, Mark Grace will let Shelby Miller know he's got a no-hitter going. He might be yelling it at him right now. Hey, kid, you know you got a no-no going.
Well, there have been, there's Gracie, a little bench jockeying maybe. 291 no-hitters in Major League history. 2 against the Diamondbacks. Jose Jimenez in 1999, Anibal Sanchez in 2006. We've had 4 this year. Chris Heston of the Giants, Max Scherzer for the Nationals, Cole Hamels for the Phillies before he was traded. And just the other day, Hisashi Iwakuma for the Mariners. Miller grounds out, 2 down.
And there's been a lot of near misses, too. Guys that have carried a no-hitter into the 7th, 8th, sometimes the 9th inning before Miller lost a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th. Justin Bohr got a base hit.
That was May 17th at Miami, the last time he won a game. He wound up with a 2-hit shutout. Braves won that game 6-0. He walked 1, struck out 4, threw only 94 pitches. Michael Bourne. He doubled back in the 3rd. So Shelby Miller bidding for the 5th no-hitter in the major leagues this year. But on a tight pitch count, you never know how deep they'll let him go. But he's right about at his high for the year. That can't be fun for the manager when you got a good young pitcher out there and you're watching the pitches and everybody knows what's going on. But boy, it's just got to be excruciating. When do I do it? Do I not? Usually those guys are isolated in the dugout. He's right amongst his teammates. Missed inside. Ruby wanted that. It's full 3-2.
You know, in an odd kind of a way, I bet Freddie Gonzalez is hoping there's a leadoff hit in the next inning.
Oh, I'm sure he
is. And then a quick double play to eliminate the base runner, but just to take that out of the equation, the no-no.
A 2-out walk to Bourne. 4th walk issued by Ruby. And now here comes Cameron Maben. Well, as promised, fans, let's see how Jeff Munn did. It's our AZ Data Strong fan photo of the game, brought to you by T-Mobile.
Oh, money.
A swing and a miss.
Day game after a night game. I guess I should have sat him today.
Well, your only other choice was to go with Leo Gilmartin. Okay. And based on the shoes that Leo is wearing today, I'm not sure that's possible. Supposed to not wear sneakers on the flights. That's one of Chip's rules. Most of the time we wear jeans, but no sneakers. Leo, let's take a look at Leo's shoes now. You tell me, are these sneakers or dress shoes?
They look like turf shoes.
I snuck in there and took a photo of his shoes. He tried to hide them, but I got them. And that's, I'm sorry, but that's over the line.
I would tend to agree with you.
The ubiquitous Leo Gilmartin.
Now, Leo says they're just casual shoes.
Nice try. Let's see what Chip has to say.
Yeah. It's a long walk to Pittsburgh.
Yes, it is.
1,600 miles to be exact. No, actually, Atlanta to Pittsburgh, 685 miles. 1,600 miles from Phoenix here to Atlanta.
Oh, well, he can walk that. Maben singled in the 1st. He's 1 for 3. 5 for 11 in the series. A double, a triple, 2 RBIs. And he's hit safely in 5 straight. Diamondbacks have had only 4 base runners all day. All 4 reached via the base on balls. All 4 were stranded. Braves today have left 6. They have out-hit the Diamondbacks 7-0. Missed inside, 1-0. 95 pitches for Ruby, 54 strikes. Andrew Chafin has put down that string long enough to start throwing in the Diamondback bullpen, whatever that science experiment was earlier in the ballgame. 2-0.
Ruby doing a little manicuring on the mound out there. About that point of the ball game where if you don't land in exactly the same hole as the guy in the other dugout, you start landing on the side of it, or heel hits in the middle of the hole. Tough to find a perfect landing spot out there, so Ruby dug out a new one.
Well, he's got Markakis and Przinsky, 2 left-hand hitters coming up. Chafin warming up with the bullpen, so I'm going to guess this is his last batter regardless of the outcome. 2-1 now.
And his spot is due up second in the next half inning, so I'm sure Chip would like to get him through this inning if at all possible, get that final out, and then he could pick his pinch hitter for that pitcher spot.
Three and one. Well, he got the first 2 outs rather quickly here, but he walked Bohr, now behind on Maben, 3 balls and a strike. Andrew Chafin. Three-one pitch. Skied up, very short right. Aaron Hill fighting the sun out there. And he's got it. Ruby De La Rosa is through 7. Shelby Miller, 6 outs away from a no-hitter. Diamondbacks down 1-0. power player of the game, Shelby Miller. He has walked 4. He struck out 10. He has yet to allow a hit through 7 innings. There have been 291 no-hitters in Major League Baseball history, 4 of them this year.
Well, I said it before, after the first 2 batters of the game, you'd have never bet on this. Shelby Miller took 12 pitches to walk Inciarte and Hill to start the ball game, but has just been lights out ever since.
Heston, Scherzer, Hamels, Iwakuma have all thrown no-hitters this year in the big leagues, and now Shelby Miller 6 outs away from number 5. Nick Ahmed leads off the 8th. Pitcher's spot is next for the Diamondbacks, and Jared Saltalamacchia is in the on-deck circle. Nick 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Diamondbacks have been no-hit twice in their history. Jose Jimenez in 1999. Anibal Sanchez in 2006. 0-2 on Ahmed. Reaches down and lifts a little blooper, and that one drops in for a base hit. Nick Ahmed breaks up the no-no to lead off the 8th.
There's a few fans here that realize what was going on. It was quite a subdued group for having the hometown pitcher carry a no-hitter into the 8th inning. A little defensive swing there on a pitch down and away from Nick Ahmed. Dunks it out there in shallow right center. It wasn't the most beautiful hit in the world, but it's a hit.
Well, now that the drama is over in terms of the no-hitter, Diamondbacks have the tying run at first. Nobody out to start the inning. And here's Salty to hit for Ruby De La Rosa. Jared Saltalamacchia, 182 and 4 home runs. 1 for 4 with a double in his start behind the plate last night.
When a base hit comes on an 0-2 pitch, that has to especially sting for Shelby Miller.
Against a guy he had struck out twice previously in a ball game.
Yeah, it wasn't a horrible pitch. You could see Nick clearly in defensive mode, just kind of stuck the bat out there and fortunately found grass in right center for the first base hit for the D-backs today.
Do you think guys in this situation become a little more vulnerable now that the no-hitter is gone? Talking about Shelby Miller?
I always felt that. I think it's been my experience in the game. Once a guy loses a no-hitter, you tend to lose some of that focus, some of that adrenaline you've been working on all afternoon. But as we know, Freddie Gonzalez had his bullpen up last inning, so those guys are ready to go if necessary.
Yeah, Braves relievers standing and watching in the bullpen down there. 2-1 on Salty. That one eats up Peterson, and it rolls into center. Ahmed will get third here. And the Diamondbacks down 1-0. Have runners on the corners with nobody out. So quickly it's gone wrong for Shelby Miller. That was hard hit right at Peterson.
That's going to be ruled a base hit right on the button by Jared Saltalamacchia. He loves that ball down. Goes down and golfs it out toward Peterson at second base, who could not make the backhanded play, allowing Nick Ahmed to advance on to third.
So we'll listen for the ovation now for Shelby Miller. 7 no-hit innings, and his afternoon ends right here.
Mark Grace came over and said to anyone that was listening here in the camera well, between innings, I guess it's time that I let him know. And indeed he did let Shelby Miller know that he was in the midst of crafting a no-hitter. And then, of course, Nick Ahmed broke it up. But I will tell you this, between innings, there wasn't chatter about the no-hitter. The chatter in that dugout was about Ruby De La Rosa, and Mark Grace was leading that charge before he did alert Shelby Miller, saying, hey, look, let's pick up Ruby here. And that's exactly what perhaps we're seeing right now.
Yeah, Ruby, Todd, did a tremendous job of keeping his team in the ball game. He was not super sharp by any stretch today, but did a good job of wiggling off the hook whenever he got in trouble. And on for the Braves here. We saw him last night, the left-hander Ross Detweiler, who worked 1 inning, gave up a hit and a walk. He had a strikeout through 22 pitches. And he inherits a bit of a mess here. 1-0 in the 8th, nobody out. Nick Ahmed is the tying run at third. Chris Owings, running for Jared Saltalamacchia, is the go-ahead run at first. And the batter is Ender Inciarte. And Phil Niekro is still the only Brave ever to throw a no-hitter in Atlanta, 1973. Ender has walked twice and hit a comebacker right back to the mound for a ground out. He's 0 for 1.
Ender showing bunt on that first pitch. I would assume it would be just a sacrifice attempt to move Chris Owings into scoring position as well. And if it happens to be a perfect bunt, maybe Nick Ahmed could sneak home from third.
Tradoslavich will hold Owings on the bag at first. Garcia in a bit at third. Sort of shadowing the runner Nick Ahmed down there. The signs from Andy Green at third. Ender tries to get the bunt down, but fouls it off. 1-1.
I'm not sure if this came from the bench or Ender's just trying to do it on his own.
Long set by Detweiler.
Got to call timeout, Ender.
He chops it over the mound. Peterson. They get 1 and they won't get 2. Ahmed scores and the Diamondbacks have tied the ball game. So Ahmed leads off the inning by breaking up the no-hitter, and he scores the tying run. Here comes Freddie Gonzalez.
Just about the time Ender relaxed and got ready to call timeout, Detweiler delivered the ball to home plate. That slow chopper up the middle. Braves unable to turn 2. Diamondbacks tie it up.
And Detweiler exits. 1-1 ball game. Back in a moment. season ticket holder. You'll enjoy exclusive benefits, flexible payment options, and a plan that is just right for you. You can design your own at dbacks.com/tickets. Well, Peter Moylan is on for the Braves. He was called up from AAA Gwinnett today. He missed all of last year, recovering from Tommy John surgery. Signed a minor league deal with Atlanta back in March, and he is, this is amazing, the 56th, 56th different player the Braves have used this year. And that's a franchise record. They used 39 last year. They've used 56 this year in a period of transition. Aaron Hill. Ender Inciarte at first. 1 out, a run in. Aaron has walked and flied out twice, 0 for 2.
Sinker slider combination from Moylan. Basically just a two-pitch guy. Very nearly plunks Aaron Hill with this delivery. That tailing fastball just misses that left leg.
Moylan, 27 appearances with the AAA Gwinnett Braves. And a 3.14 ERA. 2-0, 6 saves. On the comeback trail after Tommy John. And he's got that funky motion out there. Go ahead, run at first base, 1 out. Moylan was a Brave before 2006 to 2012. Also pitched with LA 2 years ago. Briefly a Dodger. Aaron Hill reaches out and taps it to shortstop. Simmons charges. They move Inciarte along. 2 outs. A chance for Goldie. And this is where that old word protection pops up again. Peralta, the hottest hitter on planet Earth right now. He's behind Goldie. First base is open, 2 down. What do you think?
I think they're going to pitch him carefully. I doubt if they walk Goldie. I could be wrong. Let's see how they play it here. AJ getting down in the crouch. They're going to go after him. I think had Goldie squared up a few balls in this series, they might think twice about it. But even his 3 hits in this series have been softly hit floaters that have dropped in front of the outfielders.
Yeah, Goldie in this series is only 3 for 12. He has struck out 6 times.
If you're talking about career history, yeah, Goldie's the guy you probably don't want to swing the bat in this situation. But if you're looking at recent history, David Peralta's the guy you do not want up at the plate with runners in scoring position. So they're going to go after Goldie carefully.
And Peralta at that, a left-hand hitter. 0-1 to Goldie. Goldie struck out 3 times last night. He's punched out twice today, 0 for 3. Missed some high fastballs from Shelby Miller. Swung right through him. But a lot of guys did that today.
Yeah.
He struck out 10. Chop foul, 1-2. Braves in the bottom of the 8th will have 3, 4, and 5. Markakis, Pierzynski, and Garcia. Just does get a piece. Should Goldie reach, you would have Peralta, the left-hand hitter, coming up. Matt Marksbury, the lefty who we saw last night, is warming up with the Braves bullpen. There he is. He walked Peralta in the 9th last night. One and two. In the D-back dugout. Look out down there. There's Andrew Chafin. So you've got two lefties set to lead off the 8th for the Braves. Markakis and Przinsky. Chafin is ready. Another 1-2 pitch. In the air, right center. Maben on the run at the track, and he runs it down. And Moylan takes a deep breath, but strands that go-ahead run. Cameron Maben, one more time, goes in a gap in right center to take extra bases away from a Diamondback, but they break up the no-no and they tie the ball game, 1-1. On over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.tv Premium. You'll get real-time highlights, live look-ins, a pitch tracking widget, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions to apply, so check MLB.tv for all the details. It's Arizona Diamondbacks baseball presented by Sanderson Ford. 1-1 ball game here as we start the bottom of the 8th inning. Steve Berthune, Bob Brentley, and Todd Walsh with you. New pitcher for the Diamondbacks on in relief of Ruby De La Rosa is the left-hander Andrew Chafin.
He's been a valuable member of that Diamondbacks bullpen this year. You may remember last season Andrew Chafin started a couple games for the D-backs. But with the trade of Oliver Perez, it opened up a spot in that bullpen for a left-handed specialist. Andrew Chafin can be a long guy. He can be a matchup lefty.
Chris Owings remains in the game and takes over at second base for Aaron Hill. Here's Nick Markakis. He has singled and walked 1 for 2. One and one. Markakis just 1 for 10 in the series. Diamondbacks have done a good job containing him. He's top 5 in the league in hits, but has faced a lot of left-hand pitching in this series. Robbie Ray started Friday, Patrick Corbin last night, and now he's up there against Chafin. And prior to this series, Markakis had been red hot up there, hitting .360 over his previous 21 games going into Friday, including both of his 2 home runs this year. Reaches down and lifts that to shortstop. Ahmed's under it. And that's the first out in the 8th. Let's take a look at our State Farm report of the game. Boy, I tell you what, Bob, this guy at Kane County, Wei Chang Wang. How about this? Speaking of no-hitters, 5 hitless innings for Kane County.
Dealing.
1 out for Pierzynski, who's 0 for 3. Gone through a few bats. Pierzynski 0 for 6 in the series so far. Ahmed one more time. Nice custom-made hop. Bell tie for the second out. And Pierzynski 0 for 4. Adonis Garcia, who has spent most of this series just hacking away at the first pitch. He actually took one his last time up, but he grounded out twice in his first 2 at-bats, both times on the first pitch, once into a double play. Showing tremendous discipline up there. It's 1-0. How about that?
That third at bat had to feel like an eternity.
Garcia signed by the Yankees out of Cuba in 2012. He hit about .320 with their AAA team in Scranton last year, but was let go in April and signed by the Braves. They've run through some third basemen here, but they think they found the solution. They traded for Hector Oliveira, another Cuban. Dodgers gave him $32 million and then traded him to the Braves, and they think he'll be here soon as team president John Hart reshapes the roster. Jake Lamb at third. Nice high hopper right to him. 3 quick outs for Chafin. We go to the 9th, the 1-1 ball game at Turner Field.
You know, when certain guys get on the bench, they're not happy about it, which is a great thing to have for a manager. You want those guys to want to start. So I feel like being able to rotate the outfielders, rotate Hill into second base now with Owens moving over to some shortstop, and then also Hill playing and Romack playing some third, gives us the opportunity to rest everybody.
Todd Walsh back here at Turner Field. That was part of a conversation, Steve and Bob, that I had with Chip Hale on Friday before Game 1. I asked him, are we approaching the dog days of August? He said, no, there won't be with this group because of this, the youth and the way that we're going to manage the starting lineup night after night. We've already seen it. But there's something else about this group that I think we're starting to see more and more of, and that's just how mentally tough they are. David Peralta talking about it last night. They're able to flush adversity. They lose Game 1. They come out strong early in Game 2, and then all of a sudden give up the lead late, still find a way. And then today they're no hit going into the 8th inning, and look where we are right now. They battle, and they keep themselves in it.
Thank you, Todd. Aradis Vizcaíno got the save here Friday night, the closer. Is on to work the 9th, and David Peralta, who was 0 for 2 with a walk, leads it off. And Peralta's season and really career, as we look at the numbers for Vizcaíno, David's career moved up another level. Ironically, when Ender Inciarte was hurt in Anaheim in the middle of June, and that's when the Diamondbacks were essentially, for a while there, down to 3 outfielders. And that's when David began playing every day, hitting against lefties every day. And it's changed who he is as a hitter in the major league. Since that series began at Anaheim, look at these numbers. That was June 15th. He's played exactly 50 games and hit .339 with 35 RBIs. And he's got another base hit here. Stay hot. That's a 50-game stretch with an OPS at 1,000. The sample size keeps growing. And he's on base for the second time today.
Pitch down and out over the plate, stays right on it, lines it back up the middle of the field. That's one of the most impressive things for me about David in this streak is he's hit the ball all over the field and hit it hard. Driving balls to left, pulling balls to right. Took a tough pitch from Vizcaíno that time, right back up the middle of the field.
A 50-game stretch with 24 extra base hits and 35 RBIs as the cleanup man for the most part. Here's Wellington Castillo. 0 for 3, has struck out twice. Peralta aboard at first with nobody out as the go-ahead run. Brad Ziegler warming up just in case. Brad threw 13 pitches last night and worked the 9th. D-backs 1-8-4. Rubber game here today. B fouls that into the seats. "15 homers this year, 13 of them as a Diamondback." A reminder, fans, if you missed the Randy Johnson retirement ceremony from August 8th, or you just want to see it again, you can do it right after this ball game, only here on Fox Sports Arizona. 0-2 now as Vizcaíno's humping up there at 97. Wellington struck out 3 times Friday. He's punched out twice today. And he's down 0-2.
And we heard skipper Chip Hale talking about using everybody on that roster, 25 starters over there in that dugout. And, you know, I think that's a valuable lesson for these young Diamondbacks. They have the youngest average age for their position players, the second youngest in their pitching staff. And if you can learn very early on in your big league career that it takes everybody, takes all 25 guys plus some from the minor leagues over the course of a long season, everybody has to contribute, everybody has to rest. The sooner you can learn that, the more valuable a piece you're going to be for Chip Hale.
And he has done a really good job of rotating guys through. And there's always a fresh guy ready. It's the next man up theory that we see with Bruce Arians and the Cardinals. Peterson, Simmons, and they roll it. Vizcaíno gets the double play ball, quickly 2 down. Castillo 0 for 4.
Tailor-made. Slow runner coming out of the batter's box. Hard hit ball right at the second baseman. Braves turn that into an easy double play.
Well, Jake Lamb struck out against Vizcaíno to end the ball game Friday night. He's 0 for 3 today. He struck out twice. I've not seen the Braves do a whole lot of shifting defensively in this series.
No.
They don't seem to do much at all, in fact. They play Jake straight away.
Well, this is a 1-pitch, 1-zone count right here. 2-0 against a fastball pitcher. Got a good pitch to hit right there. Put an aggressive swing on it. Just got underneath it a little bit.
Just look for a pitch in one spot.
And try to whirly bird. I mean, I know they say don't try to hit home runs. They'll come by accident. But in a 1-1 game in the 9th inning, you've got the count in your favor against a guy that likes to throw his fastball. Gear it up. Get ready to hit that fastball if it's in your location.
Jake has hit safely in 3 straight and 6 of his last 7. That one misses upstairs at 99. And Lamb's ahead 3 balls and a strike. This is headed for left center field. Bourne is there, though, and he runs it down. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th at Turner Field. D-backs and Braves tied at 1. For a chance to win a 2-day hopper pass to Legoland. When you purchase a special event ticket package, visit dbacks.com/events. That's the 2-day hopper pass to Legoland.
Where do you sign up?
Bottom 9. Chase Peterson, who's reached base safely 3 times, a walk, a single, and a double. He has scored Atlanta's only run. He'll lead it off against Andrew Chafin. Peterson walked in the 2nd, singled and scored in the 5th, doubled his last time up. Pretty good day for him after he was 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts last night. Chafin ahead 0-2. There's a foul ball. Let's take a look at our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Some Diamondback defense. Beef Wellington behind the plate. Gets Peterson trying to swipe second.
Great throw, great tag by Nick Ahmed down there at second base to get to Speedy Peterson at second. Talked about it before. Wellington has a very strong throwing arm, but for me, what makes him such an effective catcher throwing out base stealers is that quick release. He rarely gets the ball back past the middle of his chest before throwing on to second base.
One and two. And that's the strikeout right there. First strikeout for Chafin, who's retired all four he's faced. Tell you what, you got, well, they listed at 20,000 here today. It's a quiet crowd, to say the least, and you can hear everything Chris Siegel is saying from up here.
Including a couple of times he's yelled at both dugouts to keep it down over there.
Joey Terdoslavich. A single in the second, 1 for 3. The switch hitting first baseman. Boy, Freddie Freeman's absence is a big one from this lineup. You really feel it when he's not here. Terdoslavich playing first.
Yeah, he's their Goldie. I mean, he's the straw that stirs the drink, if you will, here in Atlanta. Freddie Freeman, he's the guy you always have to be aware of when his spot is going to come up. Make sure you've got the appropriate pitchers ready in the bullpen if needed.
Terdoslavich laces that toward the left field corner. That's a foul ball. Yeah, Freeman missed 5 weeks with a wrist injury. Came back and then quickly hurt his oblique August 3rd. He's been out ever since. And as you can see, he is a Diamondback killer.
Don't mind missing him.
Last time Ruby De La Rosa started against the Braves back at Chase Field earlier this year. Freeman homered off him twice. So a big absence in the lineup for Freddie Gonzalez today. 0-2 on Terdoslavich. Tied him up inside. Andrews got it. 2 down. Brings up Andrelton Simmons. Simmons a double in the 5th, 1 for 3. And hitting only about 215 since July the 1st. He's at 257 on the year. Strike one. Simmons missed 6 games earlier this month. A bone bruise on his right thumb. Injured attempting a diving catch. And he's been back in the lineup for about a week. One of those swings. We've seen a few of those today against fastballs from Simmons.
He's got that little toe tap mechanism with his left foot. You've got a lot of movement like Simmons has in his preparation. It's really tough to keep your timing perfect. Either a little out in front or a little behind everything.
Ruby got him to swing like that on a slider earlier in the ball game, and looked like he had that in the back of his mind against Chafin. 2-2 now. Pace it up the middle. Winning runs aboard for the Braves with 2 outs. And Johnny Gomes will hit for the pitcher.
Much quicker swing that time from Simmons. It's that line drive right back up the middle of the field for a 2-out single.
Well, Johnny Gomes, the right-hand hitter, announced as the pinch hitter. And Chip Hale is out to the mound to go get his lefty. And Gomes has been a very effective pinch hitter for the Braves this year. 7 for 25 in that role, including a home run. So Chip taking no chances. Pitching change back after this.
The Giants look to improve their playoff chances as they take on the wild card leading Pittsburgh Pirates, followed by the Rangers battling the Tigers. Coverage begins at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
The famous Fox Theater here in Atlanta, right on Peachtree Street. Bottom 9, 2 outs, 1-1 ball game. And the winning runs at first for the pinch hitter Johnny Gomes, who I'm guessing has been ready to hit since probably about the 3rd inning.
Since he woke up this morning, yeah. Sleeps in his batting gloves.
With the helmet. David Hernandez, the right-hander on. Gomes 1 for 5 in the series. He's got an RBI. He's also walked twice. 2-11 on the year with 5 home runs. Simmons is the runner at first, 2 down. As we mentioned before the break, Johnny Gomes 7 for 25 as a pinch hitter this year. 10 career pinch hit home runs.
I prefer to look at the 73 career strikeouts as a pinch hitter.
Half full, half empty. That's the strike call there from Chris Siegel. It's 1-1. Hernandez worked last night through just 6 pitches. Popped it up. Castillo near the screen. And it's out of play. One and two. Diamondbacks have won 13 of their last 20 games and today have a chance to win this series and get back to 500 on the year. A win would make the Diamondbacks 58 and 58. From here it's on to Pittsburgh for 3, Cincinnati for 4. 1 and 2 on Gomes.
Well, that's a tough take right there. Borderline pitch just off the plate away from David Hernandez. Good location, however.
Two is fouled back. David throwing hard, 95. Gomes always does that thing where it looks like he's tipping his cap when he grabs the bill of his batting helmet. Right there. Not sure what the pitcher is supposed to infer there. Smashes that one foul. Well, the Braves will pump their fair share of crowd noise into the ballpark. Not a fake chopping and clapping. We started with 20,840. Two and two. Just missed. It's full. Michael Bourne would be next, the leadoff man.
Front door breaking ball, not the location he was trying for. You don't want to leave a breaking ball up over the inside part of the plate.
Three and two, 2 outs. Simmons is the winning run at first. He'll be off for the pitch. There goes the runner. Ball four.
Man.
Chris Siegel not biting. And that looked like a pretty good pitch from David Hernandez.
Man.
Wow.
All right. Well, you got to let that go and focus on Michael Bourne right now.
Bourne has doubled and walked. Reached on an error. And now the winning run with 2 outs is in scoring position. Simmons is at second. Gomes at first. And now a single likely wins you the ball game. That was a big call. Strike one. Oh and 2. Bourne fooled on that one.
Now decided very late that he better swing at that breaking ball just below the belt right in the middle of the plate.
It looked like the same pitch he tried to get Gomes on. Stuck that one in the back door that time. 0 and 2. Nice block by Wellington. Diamondbacks in the 10th would have Tomas Ahmed Owings, 7, 8, 9. Right center. Tomas Inciarte is there to save the day. Inciarte, go get him! And he keeps it a 1-1 ball game. What a play! That was headed for a walk-off, and Ender Inciarte brings it back. We'll play extras in Atlanta. Wow! Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. Feed it. What a play by Ender Inciarte. A Superman leap to save the day. And we are in the 10th at Turner Field. That was a walk-off winner for sure. Off the bat of Michael Bourne.
Boy, and I was specifically watching Ender Inciarte because he had been shading Michael Bourne over to the gap in left center and playing very shallow. But right before that last pitch, he moved 3 steps over towards center field, which gave him just enough time to catch up with that drive and make the catch.
And so here we are, top of 10. And the new pitcher for the Braves is the veteran right-hander David Aardsma. We saw Aardsma in the series opener on Friday. He threw 2 innings and 35 pitches. Yasmani Tomas leads off the 10th. Yasmani so far 0 for 3.
David Aardsma, the 5th Brave pitcher this afternoon, but number 1 in the baseball register. Displaced Hank Aaron with the AA last name.
And now he's pitching for the Braves. Big cut from Yasmani. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Tomas Ahmed Owing, 7-8-9 here in the Diamondback 10th. D-backs 8-6 in extra innings this year. Braves only 3-7. 2-2. Tell you what, after that pitch that David Hernandez did not get from Chris Siegel, the one that walked Gomes, and they lost the ball game on that Bourne hit, that really would have been a shame. Because it looked like David got the out he needed there against Gomes. 2-2. .94 right by Tomas, who's 0 for 4. 1 down in the 10th.
.94 with an elevated fastball. There was a time in Aardsma's career where he would approach triple digits with that fastball. A little better command at this stage of his career, even though he has a little less velocity.
Didn't pitch in the major leagues this year. Spent most of last season in the Cardinals minor league organization. Nick Ahmed broke up the Shelby Miller no-hitter with a bloop single to lead off the 8th. Skies this one near the Diamondback dugout. And out of play. Nick had 2 strikes on him in that at bat against Miller. Just kind of was in self-defense mode. Reached down and poked the bat at it, and it dropped in over the head of Peterson at second. And then Saltalamacchia followed with a pinch hit single, and that was it for Shelby Miller, who threw 7 no-hit innings. Walked 4, struck out 10. And the Diamondbacks still with only 3 hits, all singles. Nick trying to bunt for a base hit, fouled back, 0-2.
Like he was trying to push that ball to the first base side of the field, perhaps take advantage of Joey Turdoslavich.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, him.
Joey T. Hey,
yeah.
Joey.
A little bit inexperienced down there at first base. Try to bunt that ball in that Bermuda Triangle on the right side. Turdoslavich.
Just flows off the tongue.
Joey T, I like to call him.
Hey, Joey. Joey Terdoslavich and Mike Foltynewicz, Jared Saltalamacchia. This is a tough series.
Brzezinski.
Yeah, that's no picnic either.
Boy, this is a Scrabble all-star team on the field here in this series.
Those guys with those confusing last names, they just drive you nuts. Wait, what? See, Brenly's nice. It fits nice in the center of the back of the jersey. You know, 6 letters, easy. Sometimes people add a 7th, but that's all right. It's about as bad as it gets. Called strike 3. Ahmed strikes out for the 3rd time today. And boy, Chris Siegel, he missed that one on Hernandez in the bottom of the 9th, and he missed this one on Ahmed in the 10th. Just a little bit off the plate. Not terrible, but Hernandez had one closer that was called a ball.
It's just so frustrating as a hitter. You know, your hitting coach preaches to you pre-game every day, swing at strikes, and then you get called out on a pitch that's clearly out of the strike zone. What are you supposed to do?
Well, first at bat today for Chris Owings, who came in the 8th inning to pinch run for Salty. 232 and 3 homers. Hitless in the series, does have an RBI. Laces that one foul down the left field line. And Chris Owings, stop me if you've heard this before, is down 0-2.
.393 plate appearances on the season. 102 times he's been down 0-2.
Unless you're Goldie, it's tough to hit like that.
Man.
Called strike 3. That changeup just hung there, but he got the inside part of the plate, said Chris Siegel. Arzma strikes out the side in order. Bottom 10 coming up. Off, base hit away from Michael Bourne with 2 outs in the 9th. This, if it lands, wins it.
No chance for Tomas. He was shaded toward the right field line. He was going to have trouble catching up to that ball, but Ender Inciarte, we mentioned, had just shifted a few steps in that direction, allowed him to get to that ball and keep this game alive.
David Hernandez, still the Diamondbacks pitcher. He'll work to Maben, Markakis, Pierzynski, 2, 3, and 4. The Braves 10th. Maben singled his first time up, 1 for 4. Got 2 lefties coming up in Markakis and Pierzynski. And Chip Hale has got his other lefty. We've already seen Andrew Chafin, Keith Hessler, who pitched last night warming up at the Diamondback bullpen. Hessler worked 2/3 of an inning, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits. 1-1 to Maben. Gives it a ride out to left and gone. Braves win it. Cameron Maben, his 9th, walks it off. 2-1 Atlanta.